Hello and welcome to the fall orientation session on UI Reach activities and campus engagement. My name is Adam Miller and I'm a senior program specialist here with UI Reach. And what we're going to cover today in this session is an overview of our expectations of our first year students, as well as some information on our activity site and how students can go about getting involved. The first thing we'll start off with is talking about our expectations of students, and we expect our students to come to campus and be an active member of the UI campus. And what that means is we're looking for students to be involved with campus organizations, be involved with their fellow UI Reach peers, as well as being engaged on the residence hall floors with all of the traditional students as well. We hope that all of our students are able to find a variety of activities that are things that they find interesting and fun. And with the campus currently having over 600 student organizations, that tends to be pretty easy for students to do. You may remember us talking about during your tour that if you do find a topic or a subject that you're interested in and it's not currently a campus organization, you can go about starting a campus organization. And we can talk more about that when you're here in the fall. Expectations of our students is that our students will attend approximately 3 social interactions per week. We would love for students to do more than that, but 3 is about our minimum for our first year students. And what does a social interaction look like? Well, it doesn't mean that you have to be at Kinnick Stadium with 70,000 people screaming your heads off, but we're looking for you to have interactions with other students that are fun and that are social and are practicing those skills. We talk a lot with students about social circles and expanding those. And that social circle can be as big or as small as a student is interested in, but we want them to be true and meaningful relationships. For our students, we're asking that you are either attending campus organization meetings and activities, attending UI Reach activities, or just getting together with friends. So it could be as simple as inviting a group of people to go to dinner, or it could be attending a CAB event, and it can be attending things like Kinnick football games, or going over to Carver Hawkeye Arena for some basketball games, or going out to the soccer fields. Really just what's important is that students are interacting with other students and starting to build those relationships. One of the things that we'll focus on here today is our UI Reach Activities website. And this is a Google site that students will have access to throughout their time here at UI Reach. We'll send this link out to students every week. So for some students who maybe struggle with keeping track of links, you'll get it quite often. We can also work with you on bookmarking the site so that it's there and easily available for you to pull up. The first thing here on the website is going to be our campus activities calendar. So with 600 campus clubs and orgs on campus, there's a lot going on. And so we do our best to try to narrow that down for students and provide some opportunities for students to choose what they're interested in or to look in a little more specific and not have such a broad range. And one of the ways we do that is that we have a campus activities calendar, and that calendar is going to promote certain things. Some of those activities are going to be on your own activities, and some of those activities are going to be things that we're going to provide staffing to. The things that make it on our activity calendar tend to be activities that are based on our students' interest surveys. And so when we ask the questions of students of what is it that you want to do this year, what are you interested in, we then take that information or that data and we boil it down to find the things that are happening on campus that students are interested in. So typically we're looking at things like movie nights, craft events, sporting events, going to the rec center for working out, dodgeball, basketball, just lots and lots of options. And some of those things are going to be in the community and some of those things are going to be here on campus. So once a student has come to this site and they've taken a look at the different things that are available to choose from, there's a real easy blue button here to click where students can choose to sign up for their activities. And when the student clicks there, it's going to pop up to a page that's going to have all of the who, what, when, where, all of those details to look through so that you have the information you need. And then all you have to do is scroll down, put your information in there. Once students have signed up for an activity, they will then receive a calendar invite to their Outlook staff or the Outlook University calendar. And they'll find out who the staff are, who the students are, and they'll get a reminder there. And it's a nice way to get prompted on their phone when there's an activity coming up that they have selected. The next thing that we'll talk about here is some opportunities for students to promote their own activities or to do some things on their own. We don't really care if students do things with us or if they do them with just their peers or if they want to be supported by staff or not. What's important to us is that students are getting out and being active on campus, and that students are building those relationships and building those social skills, whether it's with us or whether it's on your own. So we'll always advertise a variety of activities in this on your own events. And a lot of times those are going to be things that we are not staffing, or things that you could use your one-to-one mentor for. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. But there's an opportunity here with that link button. There's also a way to host your own event. So we call these student-led activities. And these are a great way for students to practice their planning, practice their facilitating, practice hosting events that are interesting to them and to their peers. And so when you get to campus, there'll be great opportunities to promote some activities, to build your own skill set, and really kind of dictate what your choice is in activities. That's a really big piece for us, is we want all of our activities to be things that students are choosing and that students are interested in. As I like to tell the students, it's not about what I want to do for fun. It's about what you as a student want to do for fun. And hosting your own events are a great way to do that. We can provide that support as well with your one-to-one mentor. And again, I'll talk about that in a second. Lots of ways to share different activities, promote different activities. There's a link here that takes us to the campus student organization site. So if students are wondering about how to search for different clubs and orgs, there's just lots and lots of options here of ways that students can get to the information of what they want to do, find things that are happening on campus, and just build those relationships. The next thing I'll talk about here is the self-report. If you're attending an activity with UI Reach staff, we take attendance at those so that students can get credit for their campus engagement and campus involvement. If a student is doing something on their own, we ask that students complete this self-report tracker, so to speak. Very simple to do. It's a very short survey. Students enter their name, the date of the activity, and a real short description. Just tell us what it was. So if it was going out to the mall or movies with a friend, you would just type, went to the Coral Ridge Mall with friends. And we'll have you answer just a couple of quick questions about what you did while you were there. And then you hit the yellow button to submit. So very simple. It's a nice way for students to receive credit and recognition for the activities that they're doing on their own that count towards that roughly 3 times a week that we're asking students to be active. A couple more links here on the page. One of them is working out at the CRWC. This takes you to the Campus Recreation and Wellness Center, is what CRWC stands for. There's a couple of buttons here that take you to some of the fitness classes that are going on over there. There's a link here that takes you to the athletics schedule so that you can find all of the different Big Ten activities happening on campus. And the very last one here is Hancher Auditorium for students who enjoy some more of the theater or music. There's some options there to click the link to see what's coming up on Hancher's schedule for the year. One of the things that I want to point out about the hosting an activity on your own, as I was mentioning before, we have what we call one-to-one mentors. And one-to-one mentors are going to be paired up with students based on liked interests. Students will have a chance to kind of select a mentor that they'd like to be paired with based on those mutual activities, mutual hobbies, things that they share in common. One of the ways that the one-to-one mentors can really support students is by planning a student-led activity. And so mentors will meet each week with their students, and typically students and mentors meet for about an hour, give or take. And during that time, you can focus on your person-centered planning goals. You can focus on your campus connections, your student organizations, finding things to do in the community, or planning a student-led activity. And student-led activities are an opportunity for you as the individual to promote and plan something that happens for either all of your peers, or you can choose a select group. So if you don't want to advertise it to everybody, you can just do individual invites, or you can put it on our activity calendar and have it open to all UI Reach students. And if you're working with your one-to-one, you can open up this link and you'll create this document. And it just asks you the basics, and you start to practice and learn how to plan an activity. the who, what, the when, the where, the how, all that fun information of running an activity. You would fill this out with your one-to-one mentor. They would help you to submit it, and then it would be promoted on this activity calendar. So there would be lots of different opportunities. If we look back over the last few weeks of our semester here, a lot of the activities that were programmed on the calendar were student-led activities. We actually had over 70 student-led activities this year, which was fantastic. And we're hoping to see that number continue to grow. So just lots of chances to be involved, lots of opportunities to be involved, lots of ways to be connected on campus. We're going to encourage our students to be active members of campus organizations. In your first year, you can choose to join a campus organization, or you can choose to just join the UI Reach activities and the other Big Ten athletics and just kind of get your feet under you, and then eventually get into more and more clubs and orgs. Or you can choose on day one to join campus organizations, and you can choose as many as you want. There's a student organization fair to kick off every semester, and there's usually about 100 or so campus organizations at that fair where you can learn more about the offerings here on campus and get signed up for them. So lots of different ways to be involved, lots of different ways to get connected, ways to meet your fellow students, ways to join organizations with UI Reach students, with traditional students. But really what it boils down to is we want students to be involved and active members of their community. And as part of your person-centered plan, you get to choose how you're going to be involved. And that's a big piece of it. We're not going to dictate to you that you have to join this club or org. We're just going to ask that you do join some clubs and orgs and join different things on campus. So whether that's working out at the rec center with your friends, whether that's going out to Sweets and Treats or downtown dinner, whether that's joining groups on campus like Pause, 24/7, Crew, just lots of different options out there for students to join. So when you get to campus, talk to your student life support team member, talk to your one-to-one mentor. Don't be afraid to try something new. Another thing that those one-to-one mentors can assist with is actually going to the first couple of campus org meetings with you so that you don't have to go alone. You can have a chance to get to participate with your peers and your friends, but also have some support with you, which is a big piece for some of our students. And so getting involved, being involved, those are all important things and a big part of your college experience. We always tell students that 4 years are going to go by incredibly fast, and they will. And so we encourage you to take advantage of as many things as our campus has to offer during your time here at Iowa. So that's just a brief overview of the campus engagement and the activities website. And we're excited to have you here on campus this fall. And we'll spend more time talking through this in some of our sessions, but we will also spend some time with your one-to-one mentor and your student life support team member to assist you in getting signed up, to assist you in exploring some of your hobbies and your interests, and really just encouraging you to take advantage of all the time that you have here on campus. So thank you very much for listening to this session, and we look forward to seeing you soon.